Ex-Barcelona and Brazil defender Dani Alves has been officially charged by a Spanish judge in connection with a sexual assault case. The judge informed a Barcelona court that there is evidence pointing to misconduct by the 40-year-old football player. Alves, who has been detained in a prison near Barcelona since his arrest on January 20, vehemently denies the accusation of sexually assaulting a woman at a Barcelona nightclub in December. He asserts that the encounter was consensual. Dani Alves has been found guilty of sexually assaulting a woman in a Barcelona nightclub. On Thursday, he was sentenced to 4 years and 6 months in prison under Spain's new sexual liberty law, which underscores the importance of the victim's lack of consent in determining sex crimes. The Barcelona Provincial Court, consisting of a 3-judge panel, convicted the former Brazil and Barcelona right-back of sexual assault for an incident that occurred on December 31, 2022. As part of the verdict, Alves was ordered to pay €150,000 in compensation to the victim. Additionally, he is prohibited from approaching the victim's home or workplace and from any form of communication with her for 9 years. Alves, through his lawyer Iñigo Guardiola, expressed disbelief in the verdict, stating that they plan to appeal after studying the ruling. Guardiola mentioned that Alves remained composed upon hearing the court's decision. Despite the defense's stance, members of the victim's legal team, including David Seintz, expressed satisfaction with the verdict, asserting that it acknowledges the truth of the victim's account and the suffering she endured. The victim's lawyer, Esther Garcia, and her client chose not to be present for the verdict. The victim alleged that Alves raped her in the bathroom of a Barcelona nightclub, and the court determined that there was evidence, along with the defendant's testimony, supporting the claim that she did not consent to the act. Alves vehemently denied the accusations during the trial, stating, "I am not that kind of man." Prosecutors sought a 9-year prison sentence, while the victim's lawyers pushed for 12 years. Alves's defense requested acquittal, or, if found guilty, a 1-year sentence plus €50,000 in compensation. The court ultimately imposed a sentence of 4 years and 6 months, near the lower range of sentences for rape convictions under previous Spanish law, which has since been modified to 6 to 12 years. The court considered Alves's pre-trial payment of €150,000 to the victim as a favorable factor, despite the victim's legal team arguing that the money did not adequately compensate for the harm done. Medical experts testified during the trial that the victim was suffering from post-traumatic trauma. The state prosecutor's office is contemplating whether to appeal the verdict. Spain's Deputy Prime Minister, Yolanda Díaz, expressed hope that the ruling would serve as an exemplary measure against sexist behaviors women endure. The case represents the first high-profile sex crime since Spain reformed its legislation in 2022 to prioritize consent in defining sex crimes. The legislation, commonly known as the "only yes means yes" law, explicitly defines consent as an explicit expression of a person's will, rejecting the notion that silence or passivity constitutes consent. Irene Montero, the former equality minister, welcomed the ruling, stating that it upholds the right to sexual freedom and places consent at the forefront of the feminist fight. Alves's defense, led by Guardiola, relied on nightclub security camera footage, arguing that it showed the woman's interest in Alves through sexualized movements before the alleged assault.